I believe I'm the right person for this job because I'm very feminine for this role. My feminineness, feminine sexuality, feminine personality will add value to this feminine role in the most feminine way possible.
Stop getting the wrong advice. Ensure you get the right skills for the right job for jobs in the Middle East. Contact Loy Machedo.
There is this. I want you to Google search, just Google search and find out the name of this bodybuilder, powerlifter. Very powerful guy. He was the world's strongest man for many years. His name is Bill Kazmaier. Billkasmeier. You look at him when he was in his peak, when he was in his 30s. I'll tell you, you'd be scared. He was so big. His neck itself is bigger than both your thighs, Bill Kazmaier was so strong, he could bend a metal bar on his head. He would carry people. He was not only a guy who looked strong, scary. He was very, very strong. He was so strong that the world's strongest man competition banned him from competing because they knew that he would win by default. What a crazy rule that time. They wanted competition, so they banned him. Then he returned and competed once again. Today, if you Google search the world's strongest man, watch some of their competitions. They have to lift like 100 kg stones and all that. Today, the world's strongest man is one guy named Thor Bjorn or something. He starred in this, TV series, Game of Thrones or something. Never seen that. And Eddie Hall. These guys are so freaking big. They are like 200 kilos each guy, When they sit in an aircraft, they will sit like as big as 2 seats or 3 seats. That big they are. Now, when Bill Kazmaier was young, he was big, he was huge, he was massive. And he was indestructible. However, few months ago, Bill Kazmaier, he retired from World's Strongest Man, obviously. Then he became a commentator. He took part in a friendly competition where he just had to do one small thing. That is, there's this competition where there are two beams. There are two beams. Okay, you're standing in the center. These beams will just go, they'll fall. So they stretch your arm. You're supposed to hold them with a handle and they will stretch. So you have to keep holding them. Your grip strength is tested. Your shoulder strength is tested. Your back, your whole body strength. You have to hold it from both the hands. Both the hands are stretched until your grip you release. In the glory days, Bill Kazmaier maybe would hold that for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. They would hold it for, like you and me would not be able to hold it even for a split second. Even if you reduce the weight to 1/10, maybe we would, imagine 1/10, we would just hold it for few seconds. It is that tough. These guys are holding it for 2-3 minutes. It can dislocate your arm. It can just rip your arm off. That's heavy it is. So in his glory days, he was able to hold it for 2-3 minutes. So now when he had the friendly competition, just to see how many minutes, one of his biggest competitors was also competing there. So he also took part. He was able to hold for, I think, few minutes. They lightened the weight. They didn't make it very heavy. So then it was his turn. Now the one thing about Bill Kazmaier was, whenever he would compete, he would psych himself up. So how he would psych himself up is, he would, walk up and down. He would talk to himself. He would make himself angry. He would slap himself in the face. He would huff and puff and he would go like this, and his eyes would bulge big. His eyes would bulge so big, like it would like pop out. He would bloodshot, and his veins would come all over his face. He would try to make himself very angry. And when he got angry, people got scared of him. It was like so fearful. And then he would go and lift that heavy weight. So that was his ritual. So now this guy, that was in his 30s. So now, when for the friendly competition, before lifting that heavy weight, he started to psych himself. He hit himself in the face and became angry, and his eyes were bulging out. And wow, it looked like he was going to do the same thing like from the days of old. He was going to lift that heavy weight, and he was going to hold it. And I was expecting him to hold it for at least 3 minutes. The crowd was going wild, and I was like, yeah. So he got angry, and the reporter tried to talk to him, but he refused. Like the announcer, come on, Bill Kazmaier. He would not talk to anyone because he was so angry. Like when he would get in a peak state, maybe he would kill someone. He would rip that person into 2 pieces. So the crowd was screaming, and they're like, Bill Kazmaier is going to do it. And he goes to the stand, he holds this thing, and they say, ready, 1, 2, and when they say 3, it releases. And there I was waiting for him to do at least 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. He held on to it for a few seconds. In less than, I think, a few seconds, he released it. He not only released it, he was in pain. He was in agony. His shoulder or his arm or his hands were paining badly. So, and after that happened, the guy he was competing with, they both were competitors. The guy he was competing with, who beat him, he did it before him. He went and said, he took the microphone and said, everyone was applauding. They said, hey, come on, let's give a round of applause. But this guy was still in pain, and he was embarrassed. He was clearly embarrassed. Embarrassed because, he was the world's strongest man for so many years. He was so strong, people are afraid of him. He was so strong that the world's strongest man competition banned him from competing. He was that strong. And for a guy that strong, could not hold for even a few seconds. So his competitor who beat him in that friendly competition took the microphone and said, guys, don't forget, I'm in my 50s. He's in his 60s. And for a guy who's 60 years old, he's still incredible. He's still amazing, And even though they both were hardcore rivals, they used to hate each other when they used to compete. He was very respectful to him, and I said, let's give him a round of applause. Everyone applauded. Nobody was like laughing and, he's old and all. Everyone was respectful. That video itself brought back, even though like I've not been watching it for 30 years, I've been watching it for a few years. World's Strongest Man. I downloaded the old episodes, and you can see it on YouTube. I watched right from the early ones, whenever I sit and eat. I watched all the episodes of all the years. It made me realize how, we all are getting older, when you're young, you don't think about all this. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure you must have seen WWE wrestling. Hulk Hogan. Remember? Those days, I don't know about you, but those days, at least I, as a kid, used to think WWE is real. They call it kayfabe. I used to think Hulk Hogan was real, like he's fighting the bad guys. He used to say, eat your vitamins, say your prayers. And they always believed he was naturally strong because he ate his breakfast. Those days. Undertaker was the guy, supernatural. He got his special powers from the urn. They were young, Hulk Hogan used to do the leg drop. He'll run across the ring and just jump in the air, and he will land with his leg on your, kind of face or shoulder area. And that was enough to finish you. Like, if you hit him, all of a sudden you'd get his superpowers, and he would go like this, like ready to, get back, be the champion. Undertaker used to wear the gloves like a dead man. And, when Paul Bearer, his manager, would raise the urn, would get his superpowers. Hulk Hogan, after all those years of running in the ring and doing the leg drop, landing on his bum, he ended up with multiple surgeries for his back. Almost 12, imagine 12 surgeries for his, spine. 12 surgeries. You should see it. I saw a photograph. It was, imagine having metal rods put in your spine here. And because he lost all his money, he lost everything. Once upon a time, he was a multi-millionaire. He lost everything because of, lawsuits and marriage, divorce. In US, it's so crazy. If you get divorced, the female, even though you have divorced her, she takes all your money. So fucking stupid. The female gets to keep all your money, half of it or whatever. Like Jeff Bezos' wife, she got 50% of all his wealth. For what? I mean, there is more incentive of divorcing than there is of keeping the marriage, especially for a woman. One is you get half of all your wealth, and then you get monthly payments also. Fuck. Unbelievable monthly payments, like $500,000 or, whatever. How do you think 50 Cent declared bankruptcy? So, Undertaker, the guy who could never feel pain, if you see his documentary, The Last Ride, for the first time in, 30, 35 years, he finally revealed himself as a real character, as a human being, as a person. He didn't speak in character. He didn't say, dead man walking, rest in peace, nothing. He's talking normal. The documentary, you should see it, The Last Ride. Unbelievable documentary. They span 30 years of his life. There was never a documentary of Undertaker. This was the first one. They spanned 30 years of his life, and the camera, this documentary, it took almost, I think, 3 to 4 years. The camera followed him 3 to 4 years of his life. Not every day, but the major days of his life. 3 to 4 years. And he talks, he talks about multiple surgeries, back surgeries, knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries. Every bone in his body, he has had damage. It's unbelievable, man. So, if you see UFC fighters, the guys who, like Michael Bisping, he's a British fighter, UFC, MMA. I have watched him when he started off his career, and he was invincible. Fuck, he was amazing. He had such a brash British kind of attitude. Now he's retired after multiple wars, man. He fought crazy fights. This guy has had both his knees replaced. He has had both his knees taken out and replaced with the, metal or whatever, plastic knee or whatever. He lost his eye. Michael Bisping, just Google search. And the funny thing is, he fought without letting anyone know he had a plastic eye. Why I'm telling you all this is, when you're young, you think you're invincible. When you're young, you don't think of anything. Like, for example, I'll tell you something that you would not think about. See, right now, if you're young, if you have perfect health, you don't think of your body as you need to maintain it. You just eat ice cream and chocolate and eat anything you want, whatever time you like, sleep whenever you like, smoke and drink how much ever you want. You don't think that your health is fragile. And today, like even for me, I never thought my health was fragile. Never. I used to literally fucking eat. I'm not joking, huh? I used to literally eat like 4, 5 people's food, man, per meal. My one meal. I've told you this before. One meal. Breakfast was 5 or 6 parotas, 5 or 6, plus I think 2 chicken fry, 2, 3 eggs. There would be chicken masala. There would be keema. There would be, paya. Paya is a Pakistani dish with bone joints, joints boiled in a flavored curry. Then I would drink 2, 3 Red Bulls. Then I'd have maybe a fried fish with that. I'd have, told you, a couple of eggs. My food bill in the cheapest restaurant, where people would eat for 3 to 5 dirhams, just maybe $1 would fill a person. My bill would come to $27 or around 100 dirhams. Just my food, just it's unbelievable. And I didn't give a damn. And I was busy injecting myself with steroids on my bicep or my shoulder, taking steroid injections. I would gobble up 60, 70, 60, 70 tablets, multivitamins, this, that. I felt I was indestructible. And this is per day. Huh? Today, it's so different. In fact, you may not know this. I'll tell you this. I got up 2 o'clock morning to do thinking, to think about my work. I'll be making another video about what I'm planning next. It's an interesting update. So I got up 2 o'clock. I was thinking about what to do next, and I started, planning out a strategy for what is the next 4 months. I had coffee without sugar. I had rice with fish. It's, microwave. You can eat it fast. So my wife just made it for me. And I was doing my work. After 3 hours at around 5:30 or 6, I decided, okay, I'll go for a run. Now, in my younger days, I could have just done this without any hassles, issues, problems. Go anytime for exercise. I wanted to run. I dressed up the same way, so I'm dressed up now. And no sooner I wanted to run, my sugar levels suddenly started to go down. Started to go down, down, and I knew that it was going down. So I had something sweet. Still, it didn't stabilize. I drank some sweet juice. It didn't stabilize. Finally, after waiting some time, I just sat down. Finally, I started getting back up. But by the time I was too weak. I was too weak to do any fucking exercise, think of exercise. So I decided I would do best. I just lay down, put off the light, put on the AC, went to sleep. Just few minutes ago, before I go for exercise, I woke up my wife and I told her, just dress up, get ready, we'll go for breakfast. She said, okay. But later on, I think I just crashed. She must have realized I went to sleep. I woke up after, I think, 30-35 minutes. I again got ready, switched off the AC. My wife said, you went to sleep. Huh? I said, yeah, my sugar went down. She was like, okay. And I told her, we need to go and we need to get multivitamins, B12, just general checkup, just to make sure my body is functioning properly, because it's not functioning the way it should be. Lately, I've been getting weak very fast. My sugar levels have been dropping. I don't know, is it a kidney issue? Is it a blood issue? Is it what? And, when your sugar drops really bad, I'll tell you, you get dizzy. Your whole body breaks up with the sweat. You're trembling, you're shaking. Even breathing sometimes is hard and you just collapse. So, it's so shocking. It's such a paradigm shift to realize now I need to eat. It's like a car. I need to eat to fuel the car so that it can perform. Others will break down. Where once upon a time the body was working like a smooth, like a incredible machine, like you didn't feel anything, you didn't have to bother, you didn't have to worry, you were invincible, you are strong. Now, when you get up in the morning, your back hurts, your back is stiff, your knees are stiff, your arms as if ants are walking on it. You need someone to maybe massage. Sometimes I ask my wife to massage. There is this gun which kind of puts pressure. It's not a gun, sorry, the massage gun. So, it kind of gives pressure in particular muscle groups. So my wife gives that for me, my calves. Sometimes I ask my wife to stand on my hamstrings, my backside of my legs, to kind of put pressure on my lower back. It's incredible that you don't think about all this when you're young. You don't feel that you're going to get old, but it just happens, And today it kind of makes me realize, like, wow, age. So now when I need to plan out my meals, I need to plan out what I eat. I have to be very aware of my body. Age is definitely a factor now, I have to sleep on time, or if not on time, I can't sleep on time. I have to sleep frequently, you have to eat healthy. You have to really take care of yourself, and you don't realize when you're young. Like, I give these examples. The world's strongest man, these incredible athletes, these wrestlers, all these guys, when they're young, invincible. When you and me, when we were young, we would go clubbing, go on late nights, girls, not sleep 2-3 hours, and then get up and go to work, and then instead of sleeping, go to the gym, and then instead of sleeping, still go party with your friends, and stop by a Burger King and drink a overly sugary yogurt, milky drink, guzzle it all down with a Coke, and you'd still feel young and invincible. But when you grow older, now it's different, man. You become a very different human being. That's why it's not all about guts and fighting, and your body just doesn't hold up. It doesn't remain the way it used to. That's why they say, as you grow older, your priorities change. Today for me, my priorities have changed, Like right now, after I finish this, I'll be going with my wife to buy vitamin B12. I'll buy calcium tablets. I'll buy, multivitamins. So funny. I have to take care of my health. So that's why, don't smoke, don't drink. If you're in the gym, don't abuse your body. Keep yourself fit. But most importantly, I think, realize that good times where you're invincible and you feel you're $1 million, nothing can touch you. Just keep in mind that that's a phase. That's a phase. And as you grow older, a couple of operations, and if you're an athlete, knee replacements, surgeries, disc and this and that, and sugar problems and blood pressure and heart illness and all that shit, you'll realize you're human. So, yeah, man. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Becoming an old man. Chill, guys. You guys take care. And yeah, if you have any suggestions or ideas or solutions for taking care, doing low blood pressure, longevity and good stuff. That is provided you yourself use it. Don't bloody go to google.com and tell me. If you have low blood pressure and you're a person who keeps himself fit, then please share it. Otherwise, don't bloody google.com, even I can go. Alright? This is me signing off. You guys take care.
I believe I'm the right person for this job because I'm very feminine for this role. My feminineness, feminine sexuality, feminine personality will add value to this feminine role in the most feminine way possible.
Stop getting the wrong advice. Ensure you get the right skills for the right job for jobs in the Middle East. Contact Loy Machedo.